3D scanning people is actually quite difficult. 3D scanning disabled children is very hard.
So Andiamo was born out of our experience as parent of a disabled child. The process of getting these orthotics for him was very, very stressful, because you would have to pin the child down, make sure that they don't move whilst the plaster is drying, and then wait 13 weeks for something that is not going to fit the child, because obviously children grow and they grow very, very quickly.
We kept getting pushed by other people, like, no, you have to go and solve this problem. And we kept assuming, we don't know anything about this. There's going to be lots of experts out there who've solved this problem already. So we started the research, and we assumed that it's such a simple idea to use 3D printing and 3D scanning. It's not very new technology. It's been around for a while now. And the more we looked, the more we realized there wasn't anyone doing it. Somebody's got to fix it. And we decided that should be us, because no one else was going to.
How come you can have 3D scanning over here, you can have 3D printing over there, and yet they will never be placed in the same space if we carry on thinking about orthotic service in a historic way? If we think about it in a much more open-minded way, then we're not going to reinvent 3D scanning, we're not going to reinvent 3D printing. The only innovation is by placing them in the same space, so actually the consequences are much more profound. We end up with something that is much more accurate. We might end up with something which is much more expedient. We end up with something which is much more economic. So I think that working with Naveed and Samir, it wasn't about anything other than seeing this as a piece of kind of empathetic service design.
We hadn't fully appreciated how much of an impact people who only think about design could have. And I think it was with their help that we really started to appreciate how important aesthetics and beauty were to what we were doing. We knew they were sort of important, but we hadn't fully appreciated how important they could be. Ultimately, the problems we're talking about, they're going to take 10 years to solve. We're going to need long-term relationships with people to solve these problems. And you can use things like London Fusion as almost like an interview. It's the ability to go, yeah, I can work with these people, and that they can work with me.
I think working with Andiamo, when you've got two people who have direct experience, they have those first-hand insights. And I think any design project which is founded on first-hand primary material, you're going to be able to achieve something much more comprehensive.
We're building a company that is being done with people. We're not doing stuff to them, and that's the difference. So the next 12 months is working with at least 20 families to design the service with them. And it's understanding everything, all of the interactions that make this better. In 5 years, we want to be the top paediatric orthotic company in the UK. And we want to be the top in the world in 10 years.